the human side to him is his extraordinary love for people, his compassion, and his ability to take things so lightly, to laugh, and to show you that life ahead will only be possible if you can commit yourself to love people, to be compassionate to them.
Point was that when he met, he was totally humble and affectionate. It looked as though he was approaching me as though he was my equal.
So of course I'm inspired by his deep compassion and wisdom, but most importantly I think he manifests the epitome of the spiritual aspiration. So when I see him, I see what is humanly possible to achieve.
He is always full of fun. In spite of the great fortune that he has had to battle, he always is smiling and makes you laugh.
I don't even have words. Just light. Just light. Every part of my being, the light would be His Holiness. This is how I feel.
Dalai Lama ji, when he looked at me, he shook hand with me and he held my hand for a long time. And I could feel that beautiful, peaceful vibrations from his body, from his hands.
Rationality of the way in which he approaches life, combined with compassion. I mean, this is a great combination, and it's a rare combination. And for me, those have always been very great learning experiences.
To be in an art school in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, called Kalakshetra, and at that time he made his first visit to India from Tibet as with the Panchen Lama. And I remember him coming, and we were little kids, and we all looked at him and we looked at the Panchen Lama. And when we sat down to eat after he had gone, and we helped decorate the place for him, and after he had gone, and we all talked about it. And I remember us saying, the Dalai Lama has such kind eyes and such a lovely smile.
I was fortunate that when I was a child, my father was in Lhasa in Tibet, and I've had therefore very good memories of Tibet, of Tibetans, and we've been associated for some time, for a long time. I remember Norbalinka, and I remember being in that front room where there was a radiogram, one of the old-fashioned ones with valves, I guess, which played records and had a radio. So a gramophone with a radio, and the seating on both sides. And I first met His Holiness when I was 5 years old. And my mother always said that my behavior improved after that, but I don't know. I cannot speak for that. And I have a vivid memory of the garden in summer, full of flowers. But it's a child's memory, it's just an impression that, and of course of His Holiness, His presence. And I remember really, as a child, you don't remember things so much as you remember how you felt at a time as a child. And I remember that feeling of feeling good, of feeling really good in His presence.
When Mrs. Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister of India, and those were the earlier years of His Holiness' entry into India, I had the opportunity also to deal with the subject of his being a resident of India at that time. But of course, that and that is on paper, but the personal meeting is what has left a permanent and indelible mark on me and on, I think, my character.
Since the Dalai Lama was forced out of Tibet, he has been, for us all, a beacon of hope and an embodiment of compassion. And I remember that I first went to see him with our son. At that time I could carry him because he cannot walk and so on. And the great affection with which the Dalai Lama handled him and greeted him. And one of the best things I've ever heard about myself was said by the Dalai Lama on that occasion. He said, "You have your mother's eyes." I didn't understand that. But it was such a great compliment because of our love for our mother and because of his saying that I was like my wife, a mother to the child.
Well, I met His Holiness the Dalai Lama in, I think it was 1980, under very sort of interesting circumstances. I had just come back from Oxford and I was in a mess, and I was looking for spiritual succor and to discover my own heritage. I wrote a letter to His Holiness. His office wrote back, and for some inexplicable reason we didn't meet. Several months later, His Holiness was visiting Kalpa in Himachal, and he met some friends of ours. And immediately on meeting him, he asked if they knew Rajiv Mehrotra. And so this friend of mine called up and said, "Well, you know, the Dalai Lama is asking after you." And so began a very blessed and privileged journey. At that time, he had more time than he had in subsequent years. And so I was deeply privileged to have received some sort of personal teachings from him. And I traveled with him to Oslo for the Nobel Peace Prize. And then he suggested that I set up the Foundation for Universal Responsibility. And that has been the journey, a privileged journey of lifetimes.
I was in New York studying and working when I got a needle stick from an HIV patient. So one thinks that one is ready to die when one is young, but it's not true. So I went to the bookstore and I was searching for something, and I found His Holiness's book called The Universal Anatomy. And I started reading it, and I said it answered every question that I was asking since the age of 3 years old. All the questions that I've had in my mind, I asked. The book had it. And so then I started reading more of His Holiness's book one by one. And I said, okay, this is where I belong.
Today, in the world, the Dalai Lama has become the symbol of peace. There was a time we used to say Mahatma Gandhi was the symbol of peace, symbol of non-violence, and the whole world revered, whole world respected Mahatma Gandhi. But today, all over the world, people love and respect the Dalai Lama. He has become the messenger of peace. He is a messenger of God Almighty. I have great regards for him and for his contribution.
His calmness, his rationality, and the fact that he doesn't say you must accept something on authority or that you must accept something because it is tradition or because it has been said by somebody who is important. He always says, apply your own brain, apply your own logic. And in that is actually, that's exactly what Sakyamuni, what the Buddha said also, was apply your own brain. Don't accept things just because they are handed down by tradition, because somebody important told you. And I think for me that is the biggest takeaway that I've always taken away from what he says. And the way he does it, with compassion, for me that is very important.
His approach to me was like one human being to another. So that is in fact what greatly impressed me, because I mean here was His Holiness the Dalai Lama and I, a small government official. And yet the dignity he gave me simply by the way that he looked at me and talked to me and smiled at me gave a different meaning to the relationship that was to build after that.
Bunker Roy, barefoot man. I heard about barefoot colleague.
Yes.
You trained rural grandmothers as barefoot solar engineers?
Yeah.
They're working in their villages for lighting, na?
We trained also in Dharamsala.
In Dharamsala?
Yeah, barefoot solar engineer women.
Women, I think not possible.
It's possible.
But His Holiness met my husband in Zurich. They were together in a meeting. And there is a beautiful photograph of my husband bowing to take the scarf and His Holiness bowing lower than my husband to greet him. And it's a very, very touching photograph, and it's an important photograph for all of us. So when he met him there in Zurich, he said, I run the Barefoot College, and he said, I'd like to come and see you. And he kept inviting him, and he kept saying he couldn't have time, but he made a trip to Jaipur. At that time, my husband invited him again, and he said, all right, I'll come and be with you for some time. And as luck would have it, he stayed 24 hours with us. He came one morning, spent the night on the campus and left the next morning. He saw the Barefoot College and I was his interpreter. He was interpreted into English and I interpreted from English to the local language. So I was with him almost all his trip there, and he also held a meditation for us in my home, actually, not inside the home but in the garden, and it was very, very important. But I think after he left, I realized that for the duration of those 24 hours, I didn't have a single negative thought in my mind, which I thought was amazing, because you usually get negative thoughts. It's natural to have negative thoughts. But in those 24 hours, I didn't have a single negative thought.
He was kind enough to agree to release one of my books called The Two Saints, and at the function in the India International Center, because he was coming, therefore the hall was packed and we could not take him from the main entrance. We had to bring him from the back entrance onto the stage. And then always, when my books are released, whoever comes, the first copy is given by my son to my wife. But this time His Holiness was coming, so we thought, no, we can't do that. First copy must be given to him. So then we lifted our son's wheelchair to the stage and we took him, and I said, Your Holiness, would you come and take the book from my son? He walked. And our son, who can see only from one eye and was on a wheelchair, when he saw him coming, he did something he had not done in 43 years of his life. He put his hand up, and the Dalai Lama's humility, that the Dalai Lama bent down and as if our son is to bless him. And then I said, Betu, give him the book. He took the book and again he raised his hand, and again the Dalai Lama put his head down. See, such a thing from no other religious leader and from such a great teacher, this humility It is a great lesson to us. And those photographs are a family treasure for all of us, of how kind he was to our son. So he is a symbol of hope, of compassion, of kindness, and every time I have met him, it has been like this.
The incredible aspect of His Holiness is that when you meet him, it's much more than an intellectual response, it is a felt response. And you just feel that all your senses, mind, body, emotions are, how do I put it, are both soothed and calmed. And a great catharsis takes place where you feel loved, understood, and free.
His Holiness is a beacon, is the beacon shining in this world today, where there's so much unkindness, of the message of compassion, the message of kindness, the message of universal wisdom, which says without kindness on a day-to-day practice among each of us, we're going to become more and more unkind. Now, if that happens, we cannot survive as mankind. Look at the animals, extinction, climate change, everything is coming because of unkindness and selfishness. So His Holiness's message is the most important message for the world today. If we don't, it's dire, it's an emergency, it's an ICU. If we don't follow that now, I don't see where mankind is going to go. So his message, I hope the world listens.
Nearly 1 hour with Guruji, Dalai Lama ji. With my sons Aman and Ayan, we drove to Dharamsala, McLeodganj. We were so humbled, we were so honored, happy, the way Dalai Lama received us. And we discussed on several issues, especially how important is compassion. Nearly 1 hour we could talk to Guruji, Dalai Lama ji. He is like a prophet, he is like a messenger of God in this world today. We need more Dalai Lama in the world.
His presence gives me a sense of absolute calm. It gives me an ability to center within myself, an ability to see the essential things and not be bothered about non-essentials. And so I always would love to visit him, to be in his presence just quietly sitting, because it's in that atmosphere which reinforces all the values that I hold dear, which I may or may not possess fully or partially at that time. He strengthens me to be a better human being. He's a very evolved human being. He's a sorted out human being. He's a peaceful human being. He's a being without hate. He's a human being with tremendous compassion. He's a human being with huge kindness and huge equality. He sees everyone as he sees himself. Even when he entered the guest book in the Barefoot College, he just, when his occupation, he said, a monk. So it's the humility, it's the real humility, not hypocrisy that he has. So I feel it's very, very special.
Practice of compassion, whether you see benefit for other directly or immediately, that's doubt. The other people, other sentient being, sometimes you see, may not appreciate one's own sort of sense of compassion. So you see doubt, but to oneself it immediately brings benefit. So usually you see people get the impression, you see practice of compassion or love, forgiveness is something good for other. Nothing, no benefit to oneself. I think that's I think wrong. So these positive emotion immediately say help to one's own mental state.
I was completely overwhelmed, is a word that comes up for me very often, but at the same time so deeply inspired and moved that he had the patience to listen to what I would describe as silly questions and to explain them with so much patience and candor, and then make sure that I had understood it, and sometimes to ask another question to make sure that that had been clarified. And so I'd kept notes of these discussions on a whole range of subjects and assembled them into a book, which has proved a bestseller, and it's called the Dalai Lama on Life, Living and Happiness. But there were also the more formal interviews where we had to be a little more cautious because it was going out on public television in India on Doordarshan. And His Holiness never found any question uncomfortable or embarrassing. So whether you asked him about relationship with China or India's position on Tibet and China, and he handled it with not just diplomatically, with a quality of candor and ease that made it impossible for anyone to feel offended or upset. And at a personal level, he enabled me to be an eternal student in conducting these interviews. So it wasn't me, the I, as a representative of the media that was talking to the Dalai Lama, but I've always hesitated. People often talk about Dalai Lama being my friend because I've known him 45 years. But there's no question of His Holiness being my friend. I mean, he is a friend in an abstract sense, but basically he's a teacher, he's a master to whom I prostrate to, and yet with a degree of comfort and ease and familiarity in which I could never take him for granted, but he has always given me the space to do that. And of course, what happens is his complete disarming sense of humor. And I remember that when he was first releasing the first book I did, called The Mind of the Guru, at a function in India Habitat Center when I had plenty of spiritual ego. And he started that off by saying, Rajiv works very hard, and but how much he knows, I don't know. So, suddenly to say that to all the people I was trying to impress. So he has this wonderful ability to be frank, candid, honest, empower you, to make you feel good, and yet not compromise the truth.
Because of him, the light of the Buddha's teaching has spread much farther in the world than it would otherwise have spread. And the Dalai Lama himself, has, for instance, has contributed not just to Buddhism as it was received, but he has taken it to another stage. For instance, he has opened it up for examination. As you know, the Buddha himself said, don't believe something because I say it or because it is an old book. Test it on the stone of your own experience. So his message resonates for the world in compassion, in peace, in dialogue, in perseverance, and it resonates in the lives, in the personal lives of each of us. And also especially, there are so many teachers, they can quote you verses, but he carries his learning so lightly.
See, His Holiness has got a message, but he has also got a method for achieving that message. So if he urges us to cultivate compassion or to cultivate wisdom, what I think he's really saying is that there are the practices that will enable you to achieve those states, and that different religious traditions each have their own methods. And so he often said that each one of us needs a different mental diet. So that enables him to recognize that there are many different mental diets that we can use, and each one of them is valid. Now, having said that, he also felt that there was some commonality in the techniques and the methods that we could follow, which could be independent of particular religious or philosophical trappings that would enable us to achieve these states of realization.
Those non-theistic tradition of India, no creator but self-creation. Now the concept of karma come. One's own future entirely depends on one's own action. If you carry constructive, compassionate, positive action, you get benefit. Destructive action, you get negative consequences. So everything, you see, depends on your own action. That's karma. So law of causality. Now, next life, whether good life or difficult life, entirely depend on your own present life's action.
His concern for all sentient beings, because he always brings it back to beyond just you, your identity, your clan, your nation, your country, and even beyond humanity. So for me, that has always stayed with me. And that, I think, is a very useful criteria to maintain. When you start judging events and you see whether doing something is good or bad, I think you need to ultimately look at it the way he does, which is calmly, rationally, without, any a priori assumptions, but then seeing the effect and analyzing it. And I think for me that is the remarkable thing about him, that I don't think there are many other leaders who have such a strong grounding in religious tradition and in their own cultural identity, but also can think for beyond them. And that is an example that really is worth holding up to other people.
In a world where there is always war, always violence, always inhumanity, always killing, and his words are extremely precious. And he talks about non-violence, he talks about peace, he talks about kindness, he talks about forgiveness. What more important message can the world receive than this? In my mind, he is one of the most, or should be one of the most influential persons on this earth today. To take us away from our inadequacies, from our desire to kill, maim and murder everyone else, to a notion of peace and quiet. And one of the sayings that he has said always, which has remained in my mind as a special message he gives India, is that he has talked about how when he came from Tibet to India, he understood the meaning of the word secular, and how today he really believes that all religions are equal, that all religions have a place, that the ultimate aim of all religion is to release the human spirit from bondage.
Main commitment is promotion of human value. That usually I call secular ethics. Now I must make clear the word secular. In the West, some my friends, some Muslim, some Christian, they consider secular means a little bit negative towards religion. But according to India, secular means respect all religions. No preference, this religion or that religion, but equally respect. Then also, I think one unique thing is, secular means also respect non-believer. I think that is something very unique, very unique. So now today's world, out of 10 billion human beings, over 1 billion actually non-believer. So we have to find ways and means to educate these non-believer, be honest, truthful, compassionate person.
I think His Holiness has taken remarkable leadership in the celebration of diversity. And he must be the only eminent spiritual leader who has had the courage and the confidence to be able to go to a mosque and say the namaz, to go to a church and sing a Christian hymn, and to truly embrace diversity, not merely the syncretic conversation which may say, well, all religions preach the same thing. So it's one thing to respect other religions, it's quite another to embrace them, to experience them in their own places of worship and pilgrimage, and learn from it experientially, and to acknowledge that, and to do that publicly. And I think that message and that image and that story is an extremely, extremely powerful and persuasive example.
As the teaching of the Buddha himself has been of the greatest, it has sustained my wife and me in serving our child. And as my wife has become progressively ill, it has helped me serve them both better, without breaking down, without cursing fate or anything like that. But here is something, we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it kindly and compassionately, and that it is our duty to do so.
A sense of peace, a sense of being blessed by one of the finest human beings I have met, and my own promise to myself that I will work hard within me to achieve some of the things that he is today. That's what I take away every time I meet His Holiness.
His Holiness has had a very deep effect on me as a person, and a deep effect on my entire philosophy of life. And what other human being can I credit with even half that influence?
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And long may you be with us and continue to guide us.
His Holiness is turning 90. There are those, of course, who believe that he enjoys eternal life and will now enjoy reincarnation. Whether or not I am among those who believe it, I do believe that this life will end. But I am hoping to live to see him live to be at least 100. He retains his energy and clarity of mind. Physical energy is not something that's lasting. Clarity of mind also gives way to senility. In his case, his clarity of mind continues, and I hope will continue to guide us for as long as I am part of this earth. So that is what I would wish for His Holiness.
Infinite thanks for coming to India, of being with all of us, and a big, big personal thanks that I somehow had the opportunity of meeting him so many multiple times, and that he blessed me every single time.
Like everybody else who has ever even seen him, I would always pray for his good health, for his good cheer, for his long life, and that I would always hope that during his lifetime, Tibet makes a turn for the better.